Emmy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmy. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program, where my clients lose anywhere from the last few pounds to way up to 70 pounds and counting. Although I was on the phone with somebody who said that they are going to make me change my intro because they're planning on losing more than 70 pounds. So let's do it, honey. Anyway, make sure that you go to healthybmi.org if you are interested, or click the link in the down bar. And also make sure that you hit subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can be notified, be a healthy honey, every time I'm coming out with the freshest news on plant-based weight loss, or whatever the heck I want to put on this channel. That's better. Alright, honeys, so today we are going to talk about set point theory and the ideal weight range. This light is driving me absolutely bananas, so we're not looking at it. Nope, you're not going to look at it. Now that I've pointed it out, you will not look at it. And I know what you're thinking. Emmy, just change the camera angle so that we can't see that light. But I think we all know why I can't do that, and it's because this is my good side. So here we are. So it's a podcast with a whiteboard. So today I am channeling my inner teacher. As you may or may not know, I used to be a school teacher. I taught algebra and geometry to 14 and 15-year-olds. They loved it. Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the ideal weight range and set point theory. So let's just get right into it. So there's a lot of misconception when it comes to somebody's set point weight and where their body naturally falls. And so I want to clear that up, and this video is going to do just that. So let's talk about it. Set point theory is the idea that when you eat until satiety, your body falls at a certain weight. Now, some people are led to believe that when they eat to satiety, when they eat until they feel full, that their body is naturally going to be overweight. But this is untrue. When you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, if you're eating the diet of our natural history, then your body is naturally going to fall within what we call a healthy BMI. So let me get my whiteboard marker that I forgot to grab before filming this and put that on here. All right, so a healthy BMI. So you might be wondering, Emmy, what the heck is a healthy BMI? Well, BMI stands for body mass index, and it's the ratio between your height and your weight that will tell you if you are underweight in a healthy weight range or overweight or obese. It is not a perfect science, and some athletes are shown to be obese just because they have so much muscle mass, but those are extreme circumstances. For the most part, when you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, the average person, if they are not an extreme athlete or any extreme circumstances, so if it's not somebody like myself, will fall within what we call the healthy BMI range. Now, to make this easy to understand, I'm just going to choose the average height of a female, which is about 5 feet and 4 inches. If a woman is 5 feet and 4 inches, the healthy BMI range for her weight is anywhere between 110 pounds up to about 145 pounds. If we are going to do this in kilos, this is anywhere from about 50 kilos to up to 65 kilos. And I believe that a 5'4" female is anywhere around 163 centimeters. So in order to be in the healthy weight range, you would have to be, for a 5'4" female, between 100 pounds to 145 pounds. When you're eating a whole foods plant-based diet, you're naturally going to fall within this range. If you're not, go to healthybmi.org and I'll get you all sorted out so that you can be. That is what I do. I am the problem solver for that. All right, so you're 5'4", you're going to be anywhere between 110 to 145. That's a pretty big range, right? That's a 35-pound range. So what happens between here? Why is it that two women who are 5'4" could be eating the same exact diet, doing the same exact exercise, and one's down here and the other one's up here? This is where genetics do come in. Genetics do play a part in whether you are what we call a naturally weak, average, or strong individual. So let's put that on the graphic. Okay, so as we see here, I've broken this BMI range into 3 different sections. You're either a naturally weak, average, or strong individual. And don't take this to heart. This has nothing to do with your character. It's just the words that we're going to use to make this really easy to understand. So when we think back to our evolutionary history, some groups of people, in order for their people to survive, it would be in their best interest for them to be a naturally strong individual. What do I I mean by this? Let's think about the people of Hawaii, for example. Hawaii is very, very far from the mainland, right? So in order to make it to Hawaii on this long boat trip, it would be imperative that you have a little bit of extra meat on your bones, right? If you are a skinny mini, then you're probably not going to survive the boat ride all the way out to Hawaii. So when we look at people of Hawaiian descent, we see that these people naturally have a little bit more muscle on them. They're naturally carrying a little bit more weight because in order to populate Hawaii back in the day when everybody got on the boat and went over there, the only people that would survive on the way over were those who had that extra meat on their bones. So genetically, when we look at the people of Hawaiian descent, for example, we will find that these people are naturally stronger individuals. You can probably think genetically around the world that there are some people that we would call smaller boned or bigger boned, and this would explain what we're talking about. So this is why some people can fall within this range, or this range eating the same exact diet. So let me talk about this a little bit more, because as it turns out, we don't really have a set point weight, but we have a set point range. And depending on which one of these humans you are, you may be familiar with the term the ectomorph, mesomorph, those type of terms. That's referring to this really. And depending on what type of a human you are, this is the range that you are going to fall between. So let's say that you are a naturally weak human, as we'll say again, nothing to do with your character, entirely to do with your body composition and your genetics. When you're eating a whole foods plant-based diet, you will fall anywhere between the 110 to, let's say this is 35 pounds, we roughly divide that by 3, so we're at somewhere around 11 and 12, between 11 and 12. So, let's just put this at about, I don't know, like 122, let's say. So let's say that you are a naturally weak human and eating a whole foods plant-based diet, your weight is going to fall between the 110 to 122 range. So again, that's sort of a big range that we have here. It's a 12-pound range. So where are you going to fall? How do we manipulate where within your section you will fall? Well, this is when the whole foods plant-based diet can be manipulated so that you can kind of decide where you're going to fall in this range. So we have our whole foods plant-based diet, and within that whole foods plant-based diet, we can manipulate the calorie density of it. So if our average caloric density is very low, then we'll fall on the lower side of our range. If our average caloric density is higher, then we're gonna fall on the higher side of our range. You might be wondering, okay, Emmy, how do I find out if I'm a weak, average, or strong individual? Well, you can't do a genetic test, you can't do a Google search, I can't tell you what that's gonna be. The only way that you find out is through experimentation. To eat this whole foods plant-based diet, and then you can manipulate your diet, and this is something that I help my clients do, is manipulate the contents of their diet so that they can fall where they desire to fall within their body's natural range. The problem comes when, let's say somebody is a naturally average human, but they want to be within the weak category. So naturally their body is going to fall between the 122 and let's say 133-ish range. This is where their body naturally wants to fall, but they say, Emmy, I want to be 110 pounds. Because their body does not naturally fall there, they would have to do some unnatural things in order to get there and eat a very, very low caloric density diet in order to fall into that category, which the body doesn't want to do, and the body is probably going to fight against, and it's going to cause some adverse health effects and some adverse mental and emotional effects as well. Not just physiological effects, but also the mental and the emotional side of it is something that we consider as well. And that's where the problem comes in. And so what we really have to do is just step back here and realize that when we eat this whole foods plant-based diet, we are going to fall within the healthy BMI, and the number on the scale really becomes irrelevant when you're in that healthy BMI because you have your health and you have this working, functioning body, and that is invaluable. That is absolutely priceless. And at that point, we want to turn our focus and turn our energy not so much on what the number on the scale says, but on the other ways that we measure health, on our athletic performance, on our energy, on our mood, movement, on how we feel, how much energy that we have, and not get so wrapped up in this number that we see here. So I hope that wraps it up for you, honeys. If you like when I channel my inner teacher, then I'm happy to come back because I love me a whiteboard, and I miss these days. I miss teaching. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Woo!